here. So I went in my comments because I said with the lady Renee, when she drove off, the police don't know which direction she going, shot her, all that. Right? So people was mad at me because I said the police officer did what he was supposed to do because she moved her car and he was in front of the car like this, and he only ended up on the side of the car when she turned the wheel. The first shot goes in the front of the windshield, which shows he was in front of a car. I had people saying stuff like, so you support the police. This is the world we live in. So somebody actually asked me, do I support the police? In a world where they would break in your house and take everything, they would kick your door in and take everything, they would kidnap your wife, your children, they would smash and grab the store and take everything. What do you mean, do I support the police? The concept of not supporting the police is a concept based on that the people know how to act. Now, let me ask y'all a question. Do the citizens know how to act? This is the type of foolish, we need police. People don't know how to act. For one, look at racism alone. Without police, racist KKK type, what would they be doing? The only reason they're not going overboard, because if they do get caught, they could be charged with the M and all of that. Other than that, who knows? So I actually had somebody ask me, do I support the police? This is how ridiculous the internet got. And I'm thinking to myself, where are these people from? I'm from Chicago, Illinois. I grew up on 11643 at South Aberdeen. It's at least 6 police officers lived on the block. Those was my neighbors. Mr. Young, Mr. Brooks, Mr. Hawkins, Mr. Henderson, and more. The police, I live in Chicago. The police are not strangers to us in Chicago. They're family members. My cousin is a sheriff. He's like my little brother. I was there when he was, I knew him when his mama brought him home to our house. He's law enforcement. What is this concept that law enforcement is something strange to us? I speak for a lot of people in Chicago. When we go outside, we're not worried about law enforcement. We're worried about the criminals. We're worried about getting hit by a drive-by when we ain't even a target. We're worried about somebody get to fighting and shooting and the bullet missed them and hit us. We're worried about carjacking and stuff like that. We're worried about our daughters getting raped or our wives getting raped from criminals. Now, we do worry about criminal police officers, but they don't represent the police. They represent somebody pretending they're police that's a criminal. So that was crazy. But this is the thing when it comes to the lady in the car. When you look at the lady in the car driving off and you see people saying all type of stuff, support her, to me, that's racism. That's definitely racism. Because everybody knows that a black man would have moved that car a half inch, he would have got shot. Might have got shot just for getting in the car. So to me, that's racism straight up. That's a double standard. Because almost every black man would have not moved that car. and would have been afraid, they still might not have lived through the situation. Are we going to be honest or are we going to be liars? A black man might not have lived through the situation even if he didn't move the car. Might have got unalive just sitting in the car. So to me, Renee is a victim of privilege. She's been privileged, so she did not look at the police. She never thought they would do that to her, because they only do that to black folks. That's why she drove like that. She's not afraid of them. To her, they ain't gonna do nothing to her. Think about it. The real reason she moved that car is because she's a white woman. That's a fact. And she felt privilege always applied. And a lot of white Americans are mad because privilege didn't apply. Think about it. How are they so mad she got shot when they know a black person would have got shot immediately? We know this. It's not like maybe. So the whole thing has got a lot of racist overtones to it, privilege. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about when people say, what do I think about it? Somebody asked me in the chat, and the first thing I thought about was my children. And so why would I support her over something that I would tell my children to absolutely not do? So anybody that gets in the chat that watch this, don't type up tell me, would you be fine with your children doing what she did? Because I don't know no responsible parent that would want their child to do that. I would teach my children, when the police come, turn the car off, put your hands up where they can see them. I would not tell my child, you got the right to drive off from any officer with a gun. A lot of stuff in this country is phony. There's no responsible parent that would have told a child it would be fine to put that car and drive with officers out there with guns. No responsible parent. So I'm looking at this from a point of view for parents, because I had people come in my chat, and I'm saying from the point of view of a parent, I'm not telling my child, I'm telling my child, what, are you crazy? So all of you all that do watch this later and gonna come in my chat defending her, before you say anything, put in my chat that you would be fine with your child driving off on an armed officer. Put that in the chat. Let me see what kind of parent you are. Don't just use her. Use your own children. I want any American to tell me that you would be fine with your child surrounded by armed officers to put the car in drive and drive off. Commit to the foolishness. Because any decent parent would tell their child to turn that damn car off and keep your hands where they can see and comply with the law. Now, I don't like arguing with people in the chat because we live in a time where a lot of people on YouTube is 20, 30, 40 years old, ain't got no babies. And so there's a lot of people, you're 20, you're 30 years old, you don't even got no babies. So I can't even talk responsibility to you. You're not even trying to have a family, no children or nothing. So that's why some of you talk so reckless and so childish, because you ain't nothing but big ass eighth graders. Because there's no parent would condone what that lady did, especially if they had to put their children in that position. Period. She was a bad example of how you function. Now I had somebody tell me, so you support the police, dealing with the NWA thing, F the police and all that. Let me tell you something. When NWA say F the police, and Ice-T came out with C Killer, the police boycotted Ice-T and he couldn't do no shows anywhere. That's one reason he went into acting. Ice-T had to go into acting because no law enforcement would secure his concerts because he forgot the good side of law enforcement. So it's funny to see him playing the police when he made songs about unaliving police. You can't get no phonier than that. Next thing you know, he playing police. Which is fake anti-police nonsense, which criminals are not anti-police. Some wild hoodlums is wild, but the typical criminal that's hustling for money and doing illegal things for money definitely respect the police 100%. That's why when we do crimes, we sneak. Why do we sneak and do crimes? Because we know the police gonna get us, right? So it's not F the police when you hide from the police. It's like, no, the police is the police. They're gonna get you. So even the streets, we don't look down on the police. I was a criminal. I sold illicit things. I didn't look down on the police. I tried to sneak around the police. That's different. I tried to go undetected by the police. I did not hate the police. What the police got to do with me selling narcotics? Nothing. They the police. I'm the criminal. I am breaking the law. The idea of breaking the law is not to let the police know, or the police are going to lock you up. It's never F the police. It's stay the hell out the way of the police and make sure the police don't see you. Period. And when you get locked up in the county jail, and I've been to prison, but prison too, it's not F the guards, it's F that guard that's doing too much. But it's not the guards. Nobody hates the guards. They hate Thompson and they hate Kaminsky, certain guards that be violating. But it's not, oh, the hell with the guards. No, that's a false concept. I don't know who's teaching that. But no, the streets are not anti-police. We don't break the police. We break the law. The police enforce the law. Criminals break the law. We're not going against the police. We're going against the law, not the police. The police are not the law. The police is law enforcement. They enforce the law, but they're not the law. We don't break the police. We break the law, and we try to do it without the police knowing it. But we don't hate the FBI. We don't hate the CIA. We don't hate police. And The streets don't hate police. Young brothers sometimes have a conversation with police and start generalizing. These police ain't this and that. They don't know no better. They young. They don't understand. No, it's that police officer, shorty. It's not the police. The police didn't beat you up. That police beat you up. You cannot blame all police for dude. So, as a parent, I cannot support Renee at all. Period. Renee Nicole Good goes against everything we teach our children. We teach our children, don't play with the police. If the police pull your son over, you teach your son, don't be reaching for your phone and all that, man. The police don't know what you're reaching for. There's no responsible parent would teach their child to start the car and drive off when the police are around you with guns, telling you to get out, telling you to stop. That lady did something that you would not want your children to do. How could you support somebody doing something that you don't want your children to do? All of you people that supporting her are phony. Everybody supported what she did is phony as hell. Because you know you wouldn't want your daughter, your son to do that. You want your babies to come home safe. You cannot drive off on the police. You do what they tell you, and if they go too far, then we sue. But you stay alive, and you be quiet, and if they lock you up, then we get you out, and then we go from there. That's how the game goes. Okay? You don't be combative with the police. The police have caught me doing stuff. I cooperated. They gave me tickets. I wasn't upset. I went to court. They didn't show up. Why? Because I didn't make a big fuss over it. So they say, Pharaoh's cool. The worst thing you could do, if you're breaking the law, is to start beefing with the police. I tell this story all the time. I was on the freeway shooting my son, trying to get some stuff. My son's in the middle of the freeway. Cop, the first one come over, catches, write us a ticket. It's like $250 each. The whole time I'm really cool with the cop because I wasn't supposed to be in the middle of the highway, but it was a pandemic. Nobody's out there. I was trying to get a shot with no cars. I was cool about it. About a month and a half later, I went to court. He was in the courtroom. The judge called me. The judge didn't understand the ticket that me and my son's in the middle of the expressway. The cop could go up there and tell him. The judge asked the cop, what you want to do with this? He said, nothing. You know why he let me go? You know why the cop didn't get up there and pursue it and the case got thrown out? Because when the cop called me, all right, you got me. I was trying to get this footage. It is what it is. I sat on the curb like he told me. I kept my mouth shut. He came out. He wrote me and my son a ticket, which I would have had to pay both of them. I didn't make a stink of it because my job is to not get caught. He caught me. What the hell I'm going to be mad at him for when I'm sneaking in the middle of the highway to get a shot for a video shoot? Hey, he caught me. That's his job. And so I cannot support this lady doing anything that I don't want my children to do, that I don't want my queen to do, that I don't want my grandchildren to do. That's hypocritical. There's no way I would want anybody in my family to do what she did. So I got people in my comments supporting her, and I'm saying to y'all right now, so you want your son to do that. For all y'all that support her, go in the comments and don't say, yes, I would support my son doing it. Don't play and say a bunch of stuff around and around. Just keep it real. If you think what she did is fine, go in the comments and say, yes, I would be fine with my son and my daughter and my grandchildren doing exactly what she did. Go in the comments and say that. Because I would not be fine with mine doing that. And then I'm black. And that's why there's a lot of privilege behind this, because we know our sons would be unalived just for talking back. Choked, thrown on the ground, done like the brother up there was done. He hadn't done nothing to be choked to death. What he did. What did George Floyd do? George Floyd didn't do nothing like what she did. He wasn't even in a car. Why that man had George Floyd on the ground with his knee on his neck all that time? And they crying about a lady that used her car as a weapon, because that's what she did. She used her car like a battering ram or something. She used her car to not have to listen to the police, because you in the car. He say stop. You don't got to stop because you in the car. That's using your car as a weapon. When they tell you to stop and you just drive off. That's definitely using your car to do something that you couldn't do on her foot. If she was on foot and they told her to stop, they would have stopped her. But now she's in the car, she feel like she didn't have to stop, which to me was white privilege. Because I don't know no black person that in their right mind, especially black man, that would have even tried to do that. We already know how that would go for us. The whole thing, there's a lot of racism in defending her. Seriously. Because you're defending her for something that you know young black men cannot do. And young black boys that got their license, high school boys, black, you know that a black, especially male, could not do what she did. Everybody knows that. I don't know why we playing stupid. And in a lot of cases, a black man would have got shot before the car even moved. That's just a fact. Don't hate me. I'm not the one to make the world like this. This is how it is. So you have to look at her and say, did she let the privilege get to her? She thought she was privileged. That's the only way as a black man I can explain it. That's the only way I can explain it. For them to try to compare to George Floyd is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Because she got shot in a couple seconds and George Floyd was there. He had his knee on that man's neck for 4.5 minutes or something. Ain't even close. That's nowhere close. George Floyd wasn't no threat. She was a clear threat. Because when they look at the shooting and he's on the side of the car, that's way later. I've already done that. Go watch the other one. He was in front of that car when that car started moving. And when that car started moving, the wheels were not turned this way. The wheels was turned that way. And she didn't turn the wheel till she started moving. And you could see him go from there to there. He shot into the windshield, then he ended up over here as she turned the wheels. They're like the wheels not facing him. How he gonna know which way the wheels is facing when he's in front of the hood like this and the wheels down there? You think if I got a pistol on you, I'm looking at the wheels? I cannot see the wheels in the front of a truck that's got a long nose on it anyway. I can only see the wheels from the side. By the time he get to the side where he can see the wheels turning, he's already shooting. That's all nonsense. They're not winning that case. That police not going to jail, but they will turn around and still give their family money that they don't deserve. They'll give her money. They'll give them millions of dollars that they're not supposed to get. They're not supposed to get no money for that. She caused all of that. She caused that. She was just going to do what she wanted to do. That's privilege. She was just going to do what she wanted to do. And a lot of the white Americans that supporting that is phony because they wouldn't have supported. If that would have been a black man, y'all think they would have supported a black man driving off like that? They supported George Floyd because he was on the ground with a knee on his neck. Don't even compare nothing to that. That's phony too. Trying to compare somebody driving off and towards a police officer in a vehicle. Now we find out the police officer already been hit and drugged by a vehicle before. The ICE officer had already been, my ICE officers out there dealing with all kind of craziness that we don't see. Where people jumping in cars trying to take off, dragging them all the time. But I had to think about it because somebody went in the chat to ask me about it, and I'm thinking about I'm 68 in February, and we raised, I got 6 children, they all adults. And I have to raise my sons, especially and my daughters, how to conduct themselves when they out here and they dealing with police. And everything she did is the opposite of what we tell our children. Anybody says not is a liar. Her supporters and everybody that don't agree that we do not teach our children to do what she do is a liar. None of you would tell your child to do that. Nobody would tell their child to do that. Everybody would tell their child to follow the officer's instructions. That's why this is so phony based on our children, how we raise our children. That's the angle I wanted to go. Minneapolis ICE shooting versus how we raise our children. And supporting her and saying that she didn't do nothing wrong goes against every principle on how we raise our children. We do not raise our children to do that. We do not. We don't raise our children to behave like that. She went against every parent that's child got a car. That's a fact. Every parent whose child has a car, she has gone against what we teach them. And that's an absolute fact. I can't support her. She out of line. She put herself and everybody out there in danger because under those type of situations, the car could get away from you. Could have hurt anybody out there. Anybody who know how to drive know what I'm saying. When you're dealing with a vehicle is a weapon if you're not careful. Anytime you're out there wilding and tripping with a vehicle, you could lose control of that vehicle. She could have easily lost control of that vehicle and hurt another protester. Easily. Because if you're trying to get away, sometimes you're not using your peripheral vision right. She could have ran over somebody else in the effort to escape something that wasn't even necessary to escape. Wasn't that going to happen to her anyway. All she had to do was get out and comply. They weren't going to do nothing but check her out. and tell her, listen, go this way, or take her down to the station for a while and let her go, wasn't nothing gonna happen to her. She hadn't done nothing to go no prison or nothing. What is you trying to escape? What was she escaping? A white woman surrounded by white police officers. There was nothing to escape. They weren't gonna do nothing to you anyway. You done got out here. She got out there and got hyped up with all of that rah-rah and made a horrible mistake that cost her life. And this happens in those situations, and it happens in other situations when you get crowd reaction and people get in the crowd and do things they really wouldn't do if they wasn't in the crowd. And that's what she let the crowd take her out of how she really is. That's why, as a parent, we don't like our children in rowdy crowds. You can have the best child in the world, don't do nothing, that can go downtown with a teen takeover. And when the police call you, find out your son or your daughter did what? Well, they did all this crazy stuff because now they in the crowd. And they get the euphoria for being in the crowd. And they end up doing something that ain't even in their nature. Now when they're at the police station and they come down off of this fake high, they don't know what's going on. Your baby in the police station like, but daddy, I didn't know, mama, I caught up in the crowd. That's what this lady did. She got caught up in the crowd. And then she wasn't even like that. It was her lover, the one that was like that. That's the one that invited her. That's the one said it's her fault that her friend is unalive because she called to come and get involved with that nonsense, protecting some people that need to get the hell out the country. Anyway, don't even know why they protected them. Just out there want to be anti-government. That's why if you watch me, don't go to those protests. Don't go. Because you're not doing any good and you're putting yourself in danger. Stay away from protests. Stay away. Because idiots come. Idiots come to protest. You out there just trying to have a basic protest, but idiots come, rebel rousers, and anarchists come. And you went out there, your heart to stand up for something, but the fools are out there. That's what happened to her. She got all charged up with the idiots that's out there just to be out there causing problems. Half of them don't even know what they protested for. Imagine you an American citizen, you out there protesting ICE, and ICE ain't even after you. How stupid is that? Standing up for some people from another country that if it was happening to you in their country, they would let them take you the hell out of there. They wouldn't do. Let you be a white American down in Venezuela, and the Venezuelan authorities want to put you out. I bet you wouldn't nobody stand up for your ass. I bet you that. Look at Mexico when the Mexicans down there telling the white Americans, get the hell out of Mexico. What was that, about 4 months ago? That they got the cost of living and everything going up because they didn't came down there. When nobody stand up for you Americans in the other countries like that. They would throw your ass the hell out. For sure. I had somebody ask me, so I support the police. I always support the police. What kind of world we living in where you're trying to imagine you don't need police with all these rapists and all these unalivers and all these criminals running around here? You try to talk about the police. Them is anarchists, Baby Lane, those are anarchists, Antifa, anarchists, psyching other people to come out there. A lot of times those are paid, you can get paid for going to them protesters. Through George Soros and that group right there. You just be out, a lot of times you be out for protests like that, you don't even really know why you're out there. You don't know why you're out there. And everybody ain't there for the reason you out there. It could be all type of government agents, everything in the crowd, trying to do what they want to do. Because you could be out there with somebody that is the police, that is the government, that wanted to get out of line so that they can issue martial law. Now you're a sucker. Because you get the wrong type of government in there, they'll put their agents out there to act like protesters so they can initiate laws, change laws on you. So you got to be careful. But I just wanted to, people was asking me in the chat and in the comments, and I just wanted to come out and talk about my children. The first thing I talk about is raising children. And I just like to keep it real. No, I can't support you doing nothing that I would tell my children not to do. How am I going to support her doing something that I would tell my own children not to do? How phony is that? There's no way I would tell my children to do what she did. I would tell my children, don't you even go out on nothing like that, because there have been people that went to protest. There have been protesters throw bricks, and the bricks accidentally hit other protesters because they just flinging bricks. But just because you throw the brick up, you don't know where it's going to land at. You know how many protesters get hurt by protesters? They don't tell you. Lots of protesters get hurt by protesters. Because you got drunks out there, and then you got losers don't care. They just going to go out there just throwing bricks. They don't even thinking this might land on anybody. So I'm at the front of the protest. I'm down here. This is where I'm at. Here's the police, right? This is the police, this me. It's a protester back here. He throw a brick, but it don't reach the police. It go like that and hit us. He hit the front of his own protest with the damn bricks. That's what be happening. You would be surprised how many protesters be beat up by protesters by accident. Because she could have ran over another protester easily. So to my subscribers, look, stay away from those type of protests. And if you do go to a protest, always remember the decent ones are going to be there early. And the longer the protests come, the troublemakers are going to come. And all they want to do is cause confusion. They don't even care nothing about the cause. This always happens. So as soon as the rowdies come, leave immediately. You can go to a protest, but get there early and get the hell out of there. As soon as you start seeing the ones getting a little rowdy, leave. Because they're not like those of you that came there early. These ain't real protesters. These are just troublemakers. That's it. And a lot of times the organizers of the protests don't have a strong enough force to keep the idiots in line. When you throw a protest, you got to have a group of people that keep the idiots in line. Tell them, don't come out here with that. But they don't be having that. And before you know it, it's just chaos. Where the drunks and the losers come out the kind of young men that like to throw bricks and tear stuff up come. They don't care nothing about no protests. They just out there to destroy property. They think it's fun. They want to go home and brag about how many bricks they throw, how many windows they busted out. They don't care nothing about the cause. Y'all really believe all them people out there that's doing all that care about the cause? They could give a damn about the cause. They just out there to cause problems. And what they're doing is eventually you ain't gonna be able to protest. They're gonna make it illegal. They're gonna have it that if you protest, it's gonna be a certain thing happen and you're gonna have to go, or they're gonna let them rubber bullets and stuff go. That's watch. They're gonna be like, you can protest, but once so and so come and say, okay, that's it, this protest is over and you don't leave, it's fair game on you. Watch. Because here in Chicago, they're not going to let them kids keep coming and tearing up downtown and tearing up with. They're not going to let you keep destroying property. There's no city or state or country is going to let you destroy property because you're mad. And you can't have a peaceful protest because losers come to anything. Losers come and ruin it. So I just wanted to touch on that because I thought about it and I said, well, I can't defend her because I got 6 children. I got grandchildren. And I wouldn't want none of my children to do that. If that was any of my children, I'd be hurt that they went out there and put their life in danger like that, did something stupid like that. I would consider it stupid. If it was my children, my sons and my daughters, or my grandchildren went out and did something like what that lady did, I would consider it the stupidest thing they could have did. Why would you go out there and do that? Why would you drive a car against the orders of somebody with a gun? What, you think they playing with you? You just gonna drive off with them right there close to the vehicle? That's dangerous. I don't know who's saying that's not dangerous. Like, no, they wasn't in no danger. Listen, some of these people that claim to be Democrats are making the Democratic Party look real bad. Because yes, I understand you want to beat the Republicans, you want to beat Trump, but not to the point you just going along with anything. Now you looking like clowns. Seriously. We're just looking for anything. Like that governor of Minnesota that's in trouble for letting the Somalians rob the whole state. Now he want to get all involved in this. He's so phony. He's only doing this because his state been robbed and he know he probably going to prison. That he knew what was happening and he got money out of it. Ain't no way. I'm not saying I know he did it because I can't accuse him, but I would believe he did. There's no way that governor didn't know that them Somalians was getting all that money. Somebody got to stamp that money and they was getting millions and millions of dollars. There's no way he doesn't see millions and millions of dollars disappearing. And I believe it's going to come out that some of that money went to his campaign to help him run with Harris. Yeah. Ain't no way he's not dirty, in my opinion. I'm not saying he's dirty because I don't know. I'm saying I believe he's dirty. So now he's jumping all on this when this lady, rest in peace to her, because I feel like, you ever had your daughter get with a dude and she started liking him and then he encouraged her and she started doing stuff she don't do? That's what happened to that lady. She got with that other lady. And that other lady, she fell in love with that lady. and she trying to impress that lady, and her so-called wife encouraged her to come down there and do all that food. She trying to show off for that lady, but she wasn't built like that. And the one that was built like that did what involved. That's what happened. She came, that lady said, it's my fault. Soon as the lady got shot, her girlfriend said, this is my fault. Because I invited her down here and got her mixed up in this, and this ain't nothing that lady either do. Yeah, she was a bad influence. And she was trying to prove to this lady that she ride or die. But she was into something that she don't know what she into. So she done jumped in the car and tried to drive off and got shot. Because she ain't no real protester. She got tricked out of her position trying to impress this other lady. The wife instigated by talking slick to the cop. Yeah. The wife is responsible for all this. She the one escalated everything and sent that lady off. Now, I'm going to tell you what's phony, Angie. Let that would have been you if you were a man and would have been your girlfriend. Let that would have been a man. Let the girlfriend that didn't get shot, let that would have been a man encouraged a woman to do that. What would everybody be saying, men? Men. If that was a man, right? And that was his woman in that truck. And the man hyped his woman or his wife or his girlfriend up to do that. What would the whole United States be saying about that man? That he the worst. They'd be like, following him. All the women, all these phony women that's supporting her. If her girlfriend was a man, all these phony women would be saying, she's not here following that man, following that man, following that man. Am I lying? Am I lying? If it was a man talking slick to the cop, if it was a man invited his girlfriend to that, and his girlfriend ended up in the situation and got unalive, what would women all across America be saying about that man? Especially lesbians, which they are. See me in this, see me in that, see me in that. But now her girlfriend then did it. What do all the lesbians and gay people got to say about that? What do all the women always talking about, don't listen to no man, got to say about her listening to her female lover? Now, I'm not anti-gay, no, I'm just bringing up the question. Why ain't she getting the pressure that a man would get? If that was a man, he'd be the worst thing in the world, and you are 100% right. He would be in jail, TJ. TJ, he'd be under the jail with me. Hey, TJ, if that was you and your girlfriend, and you had told your girlfriend to come to that and got to the police and hyped your girlfriend up and she got in the car and did that, they'll be like, TJ influenced her, got her on and poor thing, got out there trying to impress him. Yeah. And if your girlfriend was black and you was black, they probably would have shot both of y'all. They would have shot her, then they would have thrown me on the ground when they TJ. If it was my woman, they would have shot her, then they would have thrown me on the ground, put their knee on my neck, and either beat me half unalive or unalive me or lock me up. But it would have went bad. They probably would have shot both of them, especially if it was too black. If it was black, oh my God. If it was a black man with a black woman, man, listen, Heck yeah, we get Swiss cheese and pancakes. So I hate that it happened to her because to me it's like she trying to me it's a mixture with her trying to impress her girlfriend, which probably was, I don't know which one's the male, which one's the female. You know, in those relationships, one be like more the male. So it's between a mixture between her trying to impress her lover and privilege. Definitely white privilege. Definitely white privilege. So I'm gonna take this call and let y'all go. It's sad. I hate to see it happen to the lady, but we would have never taught our children to make that mistake. And that was a horrible mistake. But the officer shouldn't do a day because she put him in danger. And a vehicle is definitely a weapon. All right. So y'all stay positive and don't ever put yourself in that situation. And make sure you support the channel. I appreciate your support. Stay positive. And like I said, don't put yourself in no situation like that under no circumstance. All right. All right. Support the channel.